Congratulations, sweet babies. So I'm actually gonna take this jacket off because it's got buttons that like to be noisy. Okay, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to some of the upcoming energies that I've been feeling into as far as the transits go. And I feel like there's a lot of like gaps though, for me at least. I feel like I'm excited, but I'm still needing clarity on some things. I feel like there's like more work to do. Like that's the underlying energy as I was like, do I really sit down and pull more cards? And it was like, yeah, there's more. There's more here. The energy of more is like significant. Wanting more, needing more, like, I don't know. 33 is also significant for us collective. And yeah, I just feel like I wanted to, because I just recorded the full moon reading. It feels too soon for me to feel into the 1111 portal. Like, that's exactly the underlying energy that's existing for me in the current present, is just like, it's too soon for me to read into that on a collective level. I feel like there's more information. I feel like there's more things I need to like learn and discover, maybe about myself, maybe about others. Like, I don't know. Like, there's just this feeling of like, hang on, wait, but wait, there's more. Like, that's how I feel right now. And it's weird. It's like, it's weird. All right. Let's just pull the cards, friends. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's this, I wanted to initially do a kind of like success and money kind of reading, because we have our full moon in Taurus, and I just feel like there was a lot of emphasis about feeling maybe stuck in the 3D in some way. This could be regarding financial situations. This could be like a job, a victim to circumstances. In some way, there was just like this feeling of being stuck. But, I don't think you really subscribe to the idea of feeling like a victim in any way, so I'm not gonna do you like that. But it does feel like there's this feeling of like something being stuck, or not necessarily being stuck, but you know that there's more for you, and you're like, how do I get there? And yeah, 4 is significant. 444. So let's just continue to shuffle the cards. Yeah, problems with finances. Okay. Excuse me. So really what's defining your idea of success right now is joy. You like, how many smiles are you having in a day? There's this feeling of like personal power and confidence, and like your crown. Like, yes, I don't know, like, I love that though, but it's just like, that's what you're focused on. Everything else is kind of just noise, okay? Like, you're really feeling into interesting, like, this sort of joy and confidence is really what you're defining as success. And here's the thing, you place a lot of 444. I had a feeling I was going to see it in this reading. So trust your internal guidance system, trust your intuition, believe in your magic. You've got some really great things that are going to show up for you soon, especially if you stay on that track. You're also placing a lot of your joy and a lot of your personal power. Interesting, I almost said personality. That's funny. A lot of your personal power on matters of the heart. This is how problems can occur, friends. It's very important to recognize your own success and your own joy and the things that you've achieved and how powerful you are and how incredible you are, regardless of what your relationships look like. And that's kind of funny to me to say that, because I'm generally somebody who's very much like, you know, all about my people and like loving my people. But I think that's not the way that you should be measuring your success at the current moment. You should be measuring your success on all of the incredible things that you've been able to accomplish, with a sense of personal power. You've opened up your crown center in like really beautiful ways. This could be regarding like mental health, and this could also be just taking the lead on things, taking initiative, you know, just stepping into like your authentic power and your authenticity as far as how you want to lead. Right now, I see your focus let me rephrase this. Wow, interesting. Right now, I see you feeling really okay. Not only is your definition of success right now really about being happy and being joyful and how much you're smiling and how much you're laughing, you also do care about your relationships, and to you, that is your definition of success. I'm trying to encourage you to not have that be your only definition of success, though. You have a lot of other beautiful things to be proud of. For some reason, I read that in a very negative way, and that's exactly right. It's like you almost were focusing so much on the things that did not work in your personal dynamics, but in reality, like, there's also a lot of really beautiful, wonderful things that you have in your life from your different dynamics with people. Like, you have a lot of wonderful, magnificent connections. You have a lot of love to give to the world, and you have a lot of love given back to you. So there's just so much for you to feel really confident and excited about and proud of. And I think in order for you to really continue on feeling very much in that space, it's important for you, what I'm seeing is something with struggling with maybe addictions. I have to sneeze. Ugh, that was weird. Oh my god. Sorry, friends. That's very interesting. Not that I had to sneeze. Like, I'm a human body and that's gonna happen. But it's just like, I didn't really want to say it, but like, maybe there is some truth to like some over surplus, or not knowing the limit on something, or taking it too far. And you know, sometimes putting some things into some bad positions, and you're breaking cycles with bad finances, those sort of like take over the limit, breaking the limits, all that kind of stuff, and gambling. And here's the thing though, I did a reading for myself personally last night, and I was getting a lot of symbolism about how gambling can be really beneficial. Like taking a gamble, rolling the dice, taking a chance on something is not always like, you know, it's all about intention. If you're coming from a place of fuck it, you know, I'm gonna put it all on the line. I don't care who this hurts. I don't care, you know, the repercussions. Being reckless, being gluttonous, right? Whatever it is, like that is greedy, perhaps. That's not the type of gambling that gets anyone really anywhere, in my opinion. 1111 is significant, but you're thinking about, and now I am thinking about how gambling can also be a really strong attribute in good intention. If you feel really called to something and you know that there are risks, but the risk, like, there's more of a reward at bay and it's worth the risk. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's worth the risk. It's worth the gamble. It's worth taking a shot. It's worth taking a stab at it. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like a very vulnerable thing to do at the same time, to be like, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to take more chances, you know? And this might have come from a decision to really look at your odds and realizing, you know, like at the end of the day, the odds are greatly in my favor. You know, it's like, there's this feeling of like, you have that super reckless type of gamble. Then you have the other side where you're like looking at all of the odds and you're like, well, I just don't want to lose anything. I don't want to, you know, risk anything. I don't really have all that much in the first place. You know, this could be how some people feel. And so like, I don't even want to put anything at risk. And you have like completely polar opposites. And there's this beautiful happy medium, this sweet spot, this middle ground of like, when I actually look at the odds, sometimes they're in my favor and it's worth the risk. There's this feeling about like being in your heart space, for sure, coming from the heart and just like being very open. And in order for you to feel like really like in a place of personal power, you're really looking to, you're really focusing a lot on exactly that. What's worth the gamble? What's worth the risk? And putting yourself out there. And this is going to show up for you in more ways than one. This is really tapping into a different kind of abundance in your life. And I'm seeing like, expect to like hear from that soon. Like, expect for that like reward to come in. Like 1414 has been significant, like very soon. You could be speaking things into existence. You could be striking up conversations that could kind of like open up doors for you. And yeah, I think like you're going to start seeing things happening very rapidly, and you're going to start like hearing back from those things that you're kind of like calling in. Ooh. For some reason, the quote that I have on my phone screen, my log, my home screen on my phone, it's everything I want wants me more. And it's exactly this feeling of like, I'm like putting myself out there. I'm going to start calling things into existence. And like, you better believe that shit rang once. What I was wanting was ready to, call right back. Interesting. That's really interesting. I'm just feeling like there is a focus though on let me pull more cards. Oh my God. Don't be paying attention too much to things that leave you in a space of, no, how do I want to word this? This is super interesting. The cards just spilled so much tea. I can't, like, okay. All right. It's okay to be curious. I'm going to leave it at that. No, not. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to be wondering what's about to happen. It's okay to be like, feeling like maybe I shift my focus onto something I wasn't really expecting. Let's just keep it a buck, friends. Exactly. Like, let's just be real for a sec. You have been praying for something. You have been wanting something. I'm feeling like upgrade in all areas of life. I'm seeing like you want to feel abundant, honey. You want to feel like the motherfucking queen in her castle, okay? You want to be that, yes, everything. You are it, okay? And I'm sorry if you're hearing like my stomach gurgle. It's lunchtime. I'm waiting for my laundry to be finished. So I was like, I'm going to pull my cards, but my stomach is definitely gurgling. So anywho, I feel like you are praying for something. You're ready to feel like a certain way in your life, even though you don't know maybe exactly what it is you're calling in. Maybe that is crystallizing and clarifying for you in your mind, but you know how you want to feel. And maybe that's kind of what you're able to feel into more than anything. You know how you want to feel. And when you feel it, you know it. And there is like, when you're getting offers for things, when you're having conversations with people, there's just this like internal thing that's happening for you where you're like, I feel it. Like, this feels good for me. This feels soul aligned. This feels purposeful. And whenever you're like speaking about the things you want to call into existence, like you feel it when it's wanting to like call you back, right? Like, that's exactly the energy. And there's a lot of like curiosity. There's a lot of wonder. There's a lot of like interest on what's to come from all of these things that you've been kind of like calling in and aligning yourself with. Like, you have been trying purposely to put yourself in a better position. And I see that a guardian spirit, a lost loved one, watches over you and really is kind of with you as you shift your focus. It feels like there's this very deep like reminiscing of deep connection, and that's what you feel that's when you feel most powerful. That's when you feel more joyful, and you start to notice things shift in your external, in your 3D. And there's like this curiosity, like, am I going to get back to this place of feeling like I have all these great dynamics? I've got so many people around me. 000 just showed up, where I've got all of like this laughter, this joy. Like, that's my definition of success. Like, I am trying to put myself in a better position when I take more, my stomach is really growling. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna like, pretend like I'm not a human body, okay? Like, my stomach does growl. That is a thing that happens. And like, I'm about to go nibble on something, but I want to just finish this because I'm almost done. You're in a place of like, I'm ready to take leadership. I'm ready to create more opportunities for myself. I'm ready to take more risks and take more chances and put myself out there. That's what success means to you right now. Who am I to say? I came on here like, okay, we're going to talk about jobs. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about savings, But it's clear as day here in the cards that your definition of success is having really healthy connections in your life. It's about seeing the return of your efforts. Yes. It is about taking better chances and better risks and shifting your focus onto what feels really fucking good in your heart and in your soul. There's like definitely an indication here, very much so still, of like finding out more information. This could be like around your feelings, your thoughts, your fears. This could be literal information about your situation. This could be numbers. This could be whatever. But there's just this feeling of like, but wait, there's more. Like I said, of just like, you're very curious right now on how all of your efforts are going to really show up, and how if you really narrow in and you really laser focus on what it is you're after, and you call on your guardian angels and you call on your spirit team, what is possible. And it seems like you have kind of like two ideas of what that could be. Shuffles deck. But what if there is a third door? Just kidding. The card fire sign just came out. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So maybe by Sagittarius season, you're gonna really see, like, I'm seeing the fruits of your labor. And truthfully, every card here is about heart space. Like, you're really caring about your connections. This is really your definition of success right now. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes that's just where we're at, Sometimes success really doesn't mean jack shit about your money. And it really doesn't mean diddly squat about, the lavish things in your life. 333. It means so much more to you, who you have around you, the depth of your connections, the amount of joy that you're feeling, the amount of laughter that you can share. Smiling is important. I don't know. I love that though for you. So you're really curious, like, where does this leave you? You feel like you have like these kind of two options ahead of you from all the things that you've been putting out and calling in. And there's a lot of curiosity, but I want to just let you know that the cards indicate that you're going to be okay. First of all, no matter what. I remember when I moved back from Denver, I felt really a little bit lost about like, okay, I feel like I have these two very clear options in front of me. And my therapist was just like, regardless you're going to be okay. And it felt like such a simple thing. And at the time I was kind of like, thanks, like, okay. But as I went through my experiences and the way things played out for myself, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. It feels like sometimes we pigeonhole and laser focus too much on what we think is just like, ooh, the end all or be all. Intensity, 25, cue fire trucks, But what if it's just everything, regardless, will be okay? I think of that John Lennon quote where it's like, everything's okay in the end, and if it's not okay, then it's not the end. So there's this feeling of, so we have the symbolism of the evergreen tree, which represents like eternal strength and just this ever-growing process. And it also represents strength and healing and recovery from abuse. Okay? That's heavy, but I feel like maybe somebody needed to hear that. Narcissistic abuse is a real thing. And you're ready to be in a place where you have an open, juicy, loving, beautiful heart space, okay? And narcissists can't do that. So when just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but realistically, that's what you're after, is to just feel so much love around you, to feel so connected, to feel so dropped in, to feel so like replenished by the people around you, and deep, just fucking turned on by your life, dude. Like, yes. You want more of that? Yes. That's the feeling, is like you just want to feel like that in your life all the time. And you deserve it. And I really hope that you have that. And that is your definition of success in the current present, friends. Okay? I'm sorry that I kind of went into this a little bit guarded. I was just kind of like, why aren't we talking about money? Honey, let's talk about money real quick before I let you go. Okay, doors are opened. Okay, something is beginning. It's not gonna always feel like an uphill battle, but you do have to heal some money wounds, especially around being used, using others. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Like, sometimes it feels like other people get an upper hand, and when things present themselves, the opportunist might arrive and maybe put yourself into some sticky situations. Maybe this is like the not good gamble, the not good risk to be taken. And we put ourselves in these positions where maybe we're playing out cycles, first of all, but we don't feel good. We feel emotionally unavailable, or like a disconnect from our inner world. It feels icky, right? Like it just, I would hope that after a while it would start to feel icky, because it's not coming from a place of authenticity, truly. It's not coming from the truth of knowing you are abundant. You have access to God's wealth. Like, you have all of the divine abundance at your fingertips. Baby, the money's already printed. You just got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's yours. It's already yours. Your overflow, your surplus, it's just about being creative. Okay, I love this one line from Jaden Smith's song where he's like, my dad said to beat the system, understand it first. Okay, and like, yes, like you can't just, I'm not gonna tell you what you can't do. What you can do is figure out how to tap into what makes you truly feel abundant in all the ways, in all the forms. And right now, your definition of success and abundance feels like it has a lot to do with your connections, the love in your life, the relationship dynamics, how healthy they are. And honestly, of course, honey, if you're dealing with nonsensical people all goddamn day, sorry, pardon my français, you're not gonna have the fucking mental capacity to get creative with your finances and put yourself in a better position. You know, if you have to deal with fucking, you know, disharmonious connections, maybe somebody at your job is just like a pain in the tuchus, right? And you know, that takes energy. That is taking mental focus right here, yes, away from what is really good for you and really available for you. It's not that anyone is keeping you from your money. It's that someone is taking your energy and your mental internal resources so that you can't fucking go get it. Okay, so at the bottom of all of this is patience, okay? And right underneath it, it's not the right time. Clocks, time, divine timing, wait, okay? If there's this feeling of curiosity, this underlying feeling of wonder of how things are going to turn out with a lot of the things that you've been putting yourself out there about. And patience. Good things come to those who wait. Just a few more months. Now, I'm not one to say that I think it's specifically a few more months, but it wouldn't be surprising to me with, you know, us going through this 11/11 portal and then going into 12/12, which is all about expanding on whatever it is we're feeling called to. And when I tell you that last year, these portals were everything to me. I really witnessed something beautiful when I really was able to like start feeling into that. But I still had a lot of inner work to do. I still had a lot of healing and self-awareness and heart opening that I needed to do. And now, friends, I feel like as a collective, we went through that journey. And it might still, like, we might be on, like, okay, we're on level, I don't know. We're on a different level with it now. Like, we're here, we did that journey, that was magnificent. I learned a whole lot. I evolved as a person. I was successful in this, but there's still more. Like, that's literally, like, full circle. Holy shit, yes. Full circle, like something's coming back full circle for you with a lot of these things, and you've been so intentional and really putting out the best energy. So I can only conclude that it's going to be really beautiful things that come back to you, and some really wonderful, groovy heart space energy is really, that's all I see here in the cards. Truly, that's like one after the other. It's just like juicy juicy, groovy connections in your life that are going to be really abundant and just allow you to feel like your magnificent self. Yeah, so I'm wishing you all of the best things, and I will talk to you soon.